told you, I'm not doing the link against this. Got it?
See, now Jono's stropped off, suppose I better do this. I'm Paul Baum, and this is Cat's Whiskers TV.
Coming up on this week's show, we'll be looking back at the games at the weekend against Coventry and Belfast. We've also got a brand new feature, Students Quickfire Questions, and we'll be looking at the monthly awards. But first, it's Paul Baum with the news.
I'm Paul Baum, and this is the news. Devon Didier Mete launches his own book club. NHLers rush to join the EIHL. Injury crisis forces Panthers to change their sponsors' cars. And that was the news.
So, Coventry, I think last week we predicted a cracker of a game.
I think we did.
And, well, I'll let you give your opinion first.
It didn't exactly live up to expectations, did it?
It didn't, but I didn't think it was as bad as people were making out. I mean, I thought it was quite physical in the first period, and then it petered out because obviously Coventry are short of bodies, which is why they weren't going to really bring that sort of side to their game. They didn't want to be short-handed. But on the whole, I quite enjoyed the game. But I think from how we had probably built it up, it was disappointing.
Well, you probably enjoyed the games. You've been in the pub since 4. But
5.
5. Oh, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're right. But you know, Coventry, they are short of numbers. But I thought the first period, I thought we were a bit lifeless. We could have really, if we got out of second or third gear, that first period, we could have really taken them apart like we did the 10-1 game here last season. But having said we didn't get out of second or third gear, I don't think we really needed to. If I'm honest, we had 10-15 minutes second period where we just stepped it up a little bit, and that was the game won for us. From there on in, it was just resting for Sunday night.
I mean, quite pleasing to see Bruce Graham on the score sheet. He's been quite heavily criticised throughout his whole time with the Panthers, and it was nice to see him score a beaut of a goal.
It was, but I don't care who scores the goals as long as they get scored. But yeah, it was nice to see him score, but I still think his time is numbered.
Moving on to Anthony Stewart. This was his third game for the Panthers, and I thought he had an absolute belting game on Friday night. Well,
he's quality. The goal he got was probably the worst one he'll ever score, but they all count, to use a cliche.
Of course, Saturday night we was in Belfast at the Odyssey. Aaron Lord has the footage.
Both teams were coming into this game in good form, but it was the Giants who scored first after a mistake by Beckett allowed Champagne to turn with the puck and set up Clark at the back post to give the home side the lead. The replay showing beautiful awareness by Champagne, and there was no way that Clark was going to miss from there. But in what was to be a close game all night, the Panthers were to draw level with 18:54 gone on the clock through David Ling. A bit of a scramble in front of the net, but there was Ling to backhand it past Murphy, leaving the game tied 1-1 after the first period. Into the second period, and the Giants are on a 5-on-3 power play. Sandrock skates through, passes it to Stewart, and the Giants take the lead once again. But the Panthers didn't give up, and it was Graham who started the move who was going to be the scorer. Ling behind the net takes a shot, Murphy tries to hit it away, but there is Graham who hits it top of the net, and the match is all square again. And with no goals in the third period or in overtime, the winner was to be decided by a penalty shootout. Matt Francis stepping up first for the Panthers. He shoots, but he sees the puck go wide, and the shootout remains at 0-0. First for the Giants was Craig Peacock, but he couldn't capitalise on Francis' miss as Kowalski saves, and the shootout remains tied. Second for the Panthers was David Ling. Would he try and fake Murphy again? No, he doesn't, but that's a miss, and it's advantage Giants. Now, could Sandrock take that advantage? Yes, he could, as he puts the Giants 1-up. This left Patrick Gallivan needing to score. He skates with pace, but his shot is blocked, and Murphy raises his stick in the air as Belfast win the shootout and take the extra point.
A good point in Belfast. I think, considering the circumstances with the injuries, a very good point. I don't think it was expected, considering Matt Myers and Jordan Fox both went off injured during the game, so it was pretty short bench come the end of the game, probably running on fumes, and so I was really, really pleased with that.
Yeah, I mean, a point's a point. I don't want to keep talking cliches, which seem to be doing all night, but yeah, if you somebody had come to you the start of the week and said you can have a point, you'd have taken it.
Really good coverage as well by the Belfast crew. £8 for a live stream onto your computer. It's well worth watching. A really good stream. Commentary is comedy, so I really, really do recommend it. Just for the comedy commentary, it's great. So, what were you up to Saturday night?
I watched the X Factor like normal.
You watched the X Factor.
Yeah. What's wrong with the X Factor?
I tell you what's wrong with the X Factor. Along with other shows of that genre such as Pop Stars, Pop Idol and Fame Academy that produce manufactured, mundane rubbish that litter the pop charts and pollute the airwaves, they are everything that is wrong with Britain today. Now, every 15-year-old thinks that they can be famous because they once sang Rihanna's Umbrella quite well at a karaoke night at a Wigan nightclub. They think fame comes with a minimum of effort, and their role models are the likes of Katie Price, Jodie Marsh, Alex Reid and those idiots from Towie. Your role models should be people like Richard Branson, Stephen Hawking, Mo Farah, Sir Chris Hoy. These are people who have sweated blood and dedicated their lives to achieve their dreams. Why do we need these shows anyway? This country has produced some of the best singer-songwriters in the world. David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, Roger Daltrey, John Lennon and Paul McCartney. John Lennon. We don't need One Direction, Little Mix or Cheryl Bloody Cole singing manufactured garbage. You all know what you're doing if you watch The X Factor. You're lying in the pockets of Simon Cowell while he lies by his swimming pool at his Los Angeles mansion, laughing at the naivety of the British public while wearing those stupid high-waist trousers. ITV, I beg of you, please take it off our screens for good. Anyway, moving on swiftly, I think.
I think we're better. Yeah.
NHLers. It's raining NHLers at the minute, it seems to be. Obviously, we've had Matt Beletsky in Coventry, Drew Miller in Braehead, and possibly, although not confirmed yet, only by the player himself, Tom Sestito in Sheffield.
Yeah. NHLers? I'll tell you what's wrong with NHLers.
Yeah. Oh,
nothing in our league. No, I think it's absolutely marvellous. Well, you know, it's bringing a bit of quality. As long as the teams that are signing them can afford them, I don't see the problem. Yeah,
I agree totally, and I know there's been a lot of somewhat negativity on some of the forums about whether they can be afforded and will it start an arms race with teams trying to catch up. But to be honest, as long as teams can afford them, why not? It improves the quality of the league, so I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that gets me about some of the forums is that the people saying that they're disappointed with who people have signed. You know, it's...
Well, I think Tom Sestito at Sheffield is a prime example of that, because I think he's only played 27 NHL games throughout his NHL career over 6 seasons, I think it is. He's been in the AHL. I think he averages nearly half a point a game in the AHL. And yet you look at the forums here, and it's all you see is a knuckle-dragging goon. Well, sorry, but if you score half a point a season, average half a point a game in the NHL, then I'm afraid you're far from that.
Half a point a season, you'd be struggling, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is, though, that people look and always signing an NHLer, and they think they're going to get Claude Giroux. And then when they don't, when they get somebody who's, a bit more realistic, who is, essentially a third or fourth line player, they're disappointed. It's like, I was unrealistically thinking we'd get somebody who's right at the top of the game, and then they don't, and they're just deluded, frankly.
Yeah, I'd totally agree with you there for a change. But look at Drew Miller at Braehead. I mean, I've actually seen him, not live, but I've seen him on television playing for Detroit. He's a good player. He'll do really, really well up there. I don't know anything of Matt Beletsky at Coventry, but we'll get to see him on Sunday, hopefully. He looks decent from his stats. I think over 140 NHL games. And then you sort of add that with Anthony Stewart, who's already here, who's over 200 NHL games, and we're getting some decent players here.
I mean, look at the look at the media attention that's been around Anthony Stewart since he got here, apart from when he was shopping in the Tesco's near me. But when you interviewed him the other week, the person before was from the New York Times. Yeah. I mean that's okay. They'll talk about our little league over here because half of them probably never heard of hockey in Britain before. But it's bringing the media attention to us, and it'll bring media attention from teams here. All of a sudden, Coventry are signing an NHLer. The local media is going to have an interest. It's going to have a new angle that Coventry can exploit and get people in through the doors.
And let's face it, after last season, that's what they need. And hopefully on Sunday there'll be a very big crowd there.
Well, you got to hope so. I mean, it's us. We're playing them, and that's quite a big rivalry. Obviously it's not the biggest rivalry in Europe, but then again, Steelers Panthers isn't either. I mean. We said this last week, these are always good games. Let's not go there again. But, I think it's going to be a cracking ground. I think it's going to be a cracking game.
And we're hopefully going to have our cameras at the Sky Dome on Sunday. So we were hoping to get an interview with Paul Thompson as well. So look out for that next week. Now we've got a new feature on the show. It's the Students' Quickfire Quiz.
Hold on to your hats. It's time for the students' quickfire questions. That's if he can get out of bed, of course. Let's find out about this week's contestants.
Our contestant this evening is Jono. He's an Undertow design and delivery manager. His favourite food is anything that's bad for you, and he's annoyed by Yorkshire.
Jono, you are facing the students' quickfire quiz today. Go 30 seconds on the clock, please. Time starts now. Sheffield Arena floor, sticky or dirty?
Dirty.
Ashley T, crybaby or sulky teenager?
Sulky teenager.
Pot noodle or beans on toast?
Pot noodle.
Slap shot or wrist shot?
Wrist shot.
League or playoffs?
Definitely league.
Just can't get enough or just about had enough?
Just about had enough.
Crosby or Ovechkin?
Ovechkin.
Olsen, Big Ben or Chicken Little?
Big Ben.
Yes or no, Hull is the most versatile arena?
No, it is not.
Cash in the attic or Homes under the hammer?
Homes under the hammer.
Thank you, Jono, for facing the students' questions this week.
Join us next time for more student quickfire questions. You know you want to.
A new feature now on Cats Whiskers TV. It's our monthly awards, which will happen every month, I suppose. These have been chosen for by you, the viewer. You got in touch with us via email, Twitter and Facebook, and we've collated the answers, and the first category is Panthers Player of the Month. Paul, who's your vote going for?
I'm going to go for David Ling.
Ling, yeah, he's had a pretty good month, hasn't he? Scored a few goals.
Yeah, I mean, was it 6 goals in about a week?
7, actually. Oh, 7, I think.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Well, I'm going to go with the majority of what you guys went for, which is Eric Werner. I think he's had a brilliant start of the season in defence. Just to look at a couple of tweets that we've got here. Rob Pacey, Werner for me, yet to see him put a foot wrong, always communicating and organising the day, started the Cardiff comeback. Also Natalie Marshall, Werner has really impressed me, good skater, makes good decisions and seems to communicate well with the team on the ice. So, Panthers Player of the Month, Eric Werner. Our second award is EIHL Player of the Month. Who's your vote going to go for?
I'm going to split mine. I'm going to go for the netminders in Dundee and Fife, whose names are both Ryapel and Pitton.
Yeah, we did have a few votes for them. My personal vote is going to go for Sammy Ryan in Dundee, who's right up there with the top point scorers. He's done really well. But the overall winner, by quite a long way, is Mac Faulkner at the Cardiff Devils. Our mate Simsy, who was on the show last week, he said, Cats Whiskers TV, I'd go for Faulkner at Cardiff Devils. So, yeah, he agrees with that. And we had probably 10 or 11 votes for Faulkner, so he takes the award. Well done, Mac Faulkner. Third award is our moment of the month. Didn't get many votes for this, so next month we want your votes. But we did get a couple. Former Panthers player Mark Twait got in touch with us. He put easy, Ashley Tate, record breaker and scoring points for fun. With a hashtag legend and British. And also David Spence, who sent us a PM on Facebook, and he also said that Ashley Tate for breaking the British point scorers record. So the moment of the month goes to Ashley Tate of the Sheffield Steelers. Our fourth award is the goal of the month. Paul.
I'm going to see if I can get this one right. I'm going to go for David Ling in the penalty shootout against Sheffield in Sheffield the other week. The way he just pulled back like he was going to shoot and then just undressed him.
I'm going to disagree. I don't know, it was on the Elite League show, but it was AJ McLean of Dundee Stars against Brayhead, where he cut him from the blue line and just ripped it over Zemlak's shoulder. It was a fabulous goal. However, I was heavily outvoted because most people agreed with you, believe it or not. Looking at our Facebook, Wayne Roberts, Ling Pen v Shuff, Rory Brevitt, Ling penalty shot against DeCaro, what a goal. Also Josh Brassington as well, Ling shootout goal against Sheffield. So, David Ling, you get goal of the month. And our final award is Mug of the Month. So it's a bit of a jokey award. So who's been the biggest idiot in the Elite League this month? Well, Paul.
Oh, I wonder. I wonder.
It was pretty unanimous, this one.
Did we get a vote for anybody else? Did Sims get a vote?
No, he didn't.
I'll vote for Dave Sims then. Just to let him know that we still care, Dave. We still care.
Well, of course, it will be no surprise to learn that the winner of the inaugural Mug of the Month award is Devon Didio Mete. Yes, the invisible man himself from Cardiff Devils. Well done, Devon. I'm sure you're proud of winning something at last. So that's it for this month's awards. Votes are open now for next month's award. Get in touch with the show via the details on the screen. Looking ahead to the weekend, Panthers have a home game against Hull on Saturday and are away at the Sky Dome on Sunday. So, Hull on Saturday.
I'm not sure we should be making predictions after last week, should we?
Probably not.
It could be a good game. We'll see.
But it might not be.
We'll have to wait, won't we? We'll have to wait and find out. But, yeah. To be honest, I'm not really sure, which is probably fairly obvious. I've not seen Hull yet this season. I didn't make it up earlier, but the game's a good game up there, judging by the highlights. So hopefully it should be quite a good game this week. Hopefully.
They look quite competitive this year, Hull, from what I've seen of them so far. But I think even with the injuries that we've got at the minute, I think we still got too much for them.
You'd have to hope so, yeah. I mean, they looked competitive last season and made the playoffs at somebody's expense, I forget who. And, you know, it's good for the league if they are, but I'm hoping we should have enough.
So looking ahead to Sunday, we're at the Sky Dome in Coventry. Now, probably a different kettle of fish on Sunday night. Coventry, of course, got their new NHLer, so they've strengthened and will probably be a bit more feisty in their own barn.
I think so. There's people who've got points to prove on that team, especially at home in front of the fans. So yeah, it could be a feisty game, like you're saying.
Always might be better for Anthony Stewart in this game because it's a tighter rink, smaller rink, more like the NHL size rink that he's used to.
On the ice, yeah. You've got to wonder what he's going to think when he walks in somewhere like that and has a look around. You know, he's used to playing in 16, 17,000 seaters to walk into the lights of the Sky Dome. No offence, but yeah, it's got to be a bit of a culture shock.
I suppose it will be, but well worth going along if you can get down to the Sky Dome. Always a good atmosphere. Should be a good game. And Hull on Saturday is too. I'm sure there's plenty of seats still available.
Bring a friend.
Bring a friend. So that's all for this week. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, keep your questions and tweets and Facebooks coming in. We do love to read them, even the ones that aren't so nice. Thank you. Next week, we'll be covering the weekend games and also looking ahead to the game in Cardiff on the Sunday evening. So until next week, good night.
If this injury crisis gets any worse, we're going to have to sign some more players.
Well, according to Giants webcast, we already have that. Lewowski, Galvin and Lepan.
Yeah.